So it's going to be another attempt at looking through first impression of the top 100. This is from Wine Spectator, the most exciting wines of 2023. So it's not really the best wines of top 100 wines, but the most exciting wines of 2023. They rebranded that years ago because I think people used to question why they didn't have some of the best wines of the world in there. I just realized I was looking for if the Decanter does it. Wine Enthusiast also does the top 100 best buys. All 90 plus wines and $20 or less. So I will do that, but because I failed on the last Wine Enthusiast, I'm going to go with Wine Spectator, something I think I'm a little more familiar with, and just go blind with it again. In the meantime, I'm going to continue drinking this Pinot Noir that I was drinking yesterday at Lucien, Doctor's Vineyard from Santa Lucia, and this thing doesn't want to come out. I have a feeling it's going to break inside. Yeah, it's gonna break. Let's pause. Lucked out. Didn't break. It did evolve over the night. A lot of the earthiness did fall off the nose a little bit. Yeah, it's still there, but it's more minimal. The other wine that I'm going to be tasting is the Radici di Fiano Diavolino 2018 from Mestre Barondino, and it's super cold, but I just did a quart and pour. A little muted, but I did just stick my nose in a Pinot Noir. But it's so cold that I think it's just not showing me a ton yet. I'm gonna let it sit. It's very much just minimal. And I think the way Wine Spectator does it is they just show you the list and then they go through. But I'll do what I did before. I just might have to flip through a fair bit of pages here. See, it's 88. Interesting. I got the page all the way over here. All right, so from 100 to 89, I'll just highlight what I think might be sort of interesting. Nothing so far, but so here's the first one, Ink Grade Cab Saw from Napa, and it's $120. But this is made. This one gentleman, Galen Lawrence Jr., has been acquiring tons of properties, Heights, Stony Hill, and I think this one's something at a Howell Mountain that he bought recently as well. And I think he's calling it Ink Grade. So there's some good reviews about those wines, but I haven't had any. But I do like that he picked up some of these wineries that I really do like, and he's trying to keep them going. At 95, there's a Cornas, so Northern Rhone Syrah, $115. I don't know this one specifically, but I'm sure it's great. Let's see if there's anything else super interesting. All the way to 89. And those are Gigondas, and I do love Gigondas, but there's a bunch out there, and I do like the Cosmes, St. Cosme. Fortunately, it's a bit of some money there. There's a wine that I've had numerous times. Morgante, 83, Morgante, Nero d'Avola. It's $20 wine. It used to be pretty good. I haven't had it in a long time. It's in the top 100. It's 83. It's got a 90 points. You want to try something different. It is a bigger, bolder grape typically, so worth trying. I used to buy that wine actually pretty frequently, and I've kind of stopped. So here's a great wine, number 80. It's called Ciparello. So it is a super Tuscan, but I'm pretty darn sure it's 100% Sangiovese or mostly Sangiovese. And I think it's awesome. It's got 96 points. It says $150 here. Last time I bought it was 80. Now 150 seems like a lot. That seems like it's gone up a lot. But if you really want to try an awesome expression of a slightly bigger, bolder Sangiovese, it's amazing. I don't know if I paid 150, but when I paid 80, I was considering buying another one. So here's a Ribera del Duero at 79. I don't know it, Bella, but $20. I think Ribera del Duero often gives good quality, and it's a slightly bolder wine out of the Tempranillo grape. Paulo Scavina Barolo, I most definitely have had this one. $93.63. I can't ever get enough of Barolo or Nebbiolo. I'm not going to mention that. Some Gran Reserva Rioja at 77, but I don't really know it, and there's plenty of other Riojas, so a little better luck so far. 76 to 66. There is a port wine at 76. Port doesn't really is really not on vogue right now, but $61, a 20-year-old port wine, 93 points. If you're into that, into dessert wine, or just want something a little bit at the end of a meal, port's a great option. And it's typically not super sweet. There's a Priorat at 74, so northeast Spain. This one is mostly Grenache, Syrah, Carignan, Cab Sauv, so a lot of blends up there, but the wines are awesome. $30 is an amazing price for that one. Close Berenguer. I don't know the producer, but I always recommend things from Priorat. They just make great wines up there. Nothing in there. The Pinot Noir called Flowers, number 68. I can't say that I've had it in a long time, and I kind of believe for the price you probably can get better, especially since I feel like the bottle's a little bit of a gimmick. But again, it's a $55 bottle, so maybe not as gimmicky as I may think, although that doesn't really mean much. It could just be a gimmick in that $50 range, selling people on the name Flowers. Certainly there's a lot of marketing there. So from 65 here to 60. Here's another one. So Nino Negri, Valtelliano Superior, Inferno, Guicardi. So this is from Valtellina, so northern Italy, and they specialize in the Nebbiolo grape. And this is 100% Nebbiolo, sourced from 20 to 50-year-old vine. So it's old vine. This is $68, 94 points. This is sort of probably a lighter expression of Nebbiolo, if you're looking for an alternative to Barolo Barbaresco or some of the other Nebbiolo areas in Piedmont. But I love that producer. I don't know that one specifically, but I've had a few from them. And maybe I have had that one, but I love all their stuff. Going to 61, Frank Family's Cab Sauv Rutherford. I always believe this is a solid Cabernet, not over the top. I love Rutherford as the AVA, one of my favorite AVAs in Napa. $110 though. This is the Cab Sauv Rutherford RHF. So Rutherford, let's see. Why is it called? Or it just must be a different single plot or a different vineyard that they're using for that. But I love Frank Family's wines. Jump into 59 to 55. Nothing super interesting. Oh, okay, I take it back. Number 56. I used to love this winery. This is actually what probably got me into high-end Pinot Noir. Was Archery Summit at Willamette. This is called Veriton 2021. This is actually a very affordable one, $34. Normally their wines are in the 50s, 60s, if not higher. And I felt like it was very Burgundian when I tried it. So it's a Pinot Noir. They get 93 points here, $34. I can't say enough about Archery Summit. It really was my gateway into Pinot or Oregon Pinot. Haven't had a lot of it lately, but I would always recommend it. A wine I've had numerous times, number 53. From Jorge Ordonez is the Muscatel Serras de Malaga Botani Old Vines. This is made from Muscatel, Muscat grapes, but it is vinified dry. So it's a very interesting wine. There's no sweetness to it. It's a dry one. It's old vine. It's actually a really nice wine. It's only $22. Goes really well with sushi or Thai food or Vietnamese or something along those lines. But if you want to try what they can do with the Muscat grape and vinified dry, Muscat of Alexandria, typically they'll make sweet wines out of that. So I think that's pretty cool. Number 49 is Saxum, Jamesbury Vineyards. Probably an amazing Syrah, is it? This is Grenache-based bottling, but Saxum makes great wines, but it's $132, so you got to pay for it, 96 points. So certainly interesting, but something you do have to pay for. So 48 to 38. So there's a 2021 Chianti Classico at 45. Haven't had it. Pogarino, but if I see it, I'll probably try it. $26, 93 points. Why not? I'm always looking for Chianti Classicos. You know, point yesterday, it's this 2016 that I'm going to try. Hopefully it is good. So here's an interesting one. I typically buy the rosé of this, but the Brut Nature is pretty good. The Cuvée Comp, so it's a cava. It's $23. They're giving it 91 points. It's a very dry expression of a sparkling wine, and actually not half bad. I think it's actually pretty good. Number 39, Giuseppe Cortese, Barbaresco 2019. Love Barbaresco. Pretty sure I've had that one, and I really do like it. First sort of disappointment for me here is going to be number 38. Its first drops. It's a Shiraz from Barossa, Mother's Milk. I wanted to like this one. I just didn't. I felt like it was like this rubber cement. $20, 92 points. I see it in a lot of stores. I don't know. Just not sure about it. Maybe the vintage I had. This is a 2021, but I wasn't sort of into it. You know, it sells a lot. Maybe it could be called Mother's Milk, but not really a big fan. 37 to 32. Nothing worth mentioning. American Sparkling at 33, Domaine Carneros. Nah, one's not worth mentioning. Okay, 31 to 22. So there's this wine out of Walla Walla. There's numerous ones, and they have interesting names. This one's called No Girls. Double Lucky 8, Walla Walla Valley. It's a blended Grenache, Syrah, Tempranillo. So they get $55. They have a lot of accolades for these wines up there. They have a Syrah with an interesting name, and I forget all the names they got, and there's reasons they call it that. Yeah, I wish I remember more about it right this moment, but I honestly don't. Number 27 is Ramey's Chardonnay. I love Ramey. This is the Russian River Valley 2021. From Ramey, I typically like their Ritchie Vineyard. Love that vineyard. They use the Wenti Chardonnay clone out of France. But I love almost everything Ramey does. I think all their wines, their cabs, their Chardonnays are all really, really great. This one's $50 for 94 points. I think it's awesome. Okay, number 26 is GD Vadra. It's a Barolo Brico della Violi. This is the better version of the one I was buying for about $40 last year. When I was finding it, I was buying it. I just haven't seen it in a bit. 96 points, $95. This must be a step up, but I'm sure it's awesome. Number 24, Tenuta di Arseno, Chianti Classico Reserva 2020, $45, 94 points. Probably a pretty high quality Chianti Classico, a little bit up in price. So here's a Rivers Marie number 23, $35 Pinot Noir Sonoma Coast. So if I do see this, 94 points, I probably would buy it since I'm on a little bit of a lookout for some Sonoma Coast Pinot Noirs. Number 22, Chianti Classico. Oh, I've seen that wine. 94 points, 40. You know, I have not really had a great version of that, so I'm going to just skip it. Just skip it. Felsina does make Rancia, which is one of my favorites, but it's about $50. But I'm gonna ignore that one for now here. Martinelli has a Pinot Noir at number 19, 95 points, $76. They're legendary family making great wines. I am sure that wine is awesome. I just have not had it. I just know the property, the winery. Kistler, number 14, make amazing Chardonnays. Chardonnay, Russian River Valley, Vine Hill. You have to pay for Kistler, $95, 97 points. You kind of get what you pay for, though. Amazing wines out of that winery, but pricey. I almost was going to mention another Chianti in there, but I'm going to pass. Okay, now we're up to number 10, and 10 is a Sauv Blanc. Not really super interested. I'm sure it's fine. Marlborough Sauv Blanc from New Zealand. Number 9, something called Resonance Pinot Noir from Willamette, 94 points, $40. I'm sure it's probably already impossible to find. Number 8 is it's a nice Bordeaux, but it's always a nice Bordeaux. Number 7 is a Chianti Classico Reserva for $50, 95 points. Antinori's, Marchese Antinori Reserva. So good wine there. Number 6 is a Cabernet called Dunn from Howell Mountain 2019. I had it a few years back. It's phenomenally good. It needed to open up. $175. I was sure going to pay a lot for it. 96 points. But if you want a great expression of mountain, Howell Mountain Cab, Dunn does a great job. And it's got even like this coffee thing going on with it, which I think is awesome. Number 5 is common. It's going to be probably one of my favorite wines, Mastro Berardino. So shock, the same producer, but this is their Taurasi Radici Reserva 2016. They have it here for $73. I used to get it for about $60. I thought that wine for $60 tasted like $150 minimum. This is giving it 95 points. It's the Aglianico grape at a Taurasi. Taurasi is considered sort of what they're calling it the Barolo of the South, although stylistically so different than Barolo. Yes, it has tannin and all these layers of flavor, but it's bigger and bolder and darker for sure. That wine is bigger and bolder and darker, but unbelievable. I'm almost half upset it's up here because I feel like that wine now might go up, but we'll see. $73, so maybe not. Number 4 is another Pinot Noir out of Sonoma Coast. $70, Rain, which is R-A-E-N. I would definitely try that if I'm still on the lookout for these Pinots. Like I mentioned yesterday, you gotta pay for some good Pinots. Lynch Bodge, Chateau Lynch Bodge, always great producer out of Bordeaux, out of Pauillac 2020. It's $137. You get what you pay for. Number 2, another Pinot Noir out of Sonoma Coast, another one, Freestone Occidental it's called. And 2021, $65, 94 points, and that's number 2. I'm suspecting all these Pinots are probably probably insane to get. And number 1, is a Brunello. And I've had this Brunello numerous times. That's a great, although it's gone up in price. So it's Argiano's Brunello de Montalcino 2018, even 95 points, $90. I swear this used to be 50 or 60 bucks. Well, I don't know. It's definitely gone up in price, but it's an amazing wine. Awesome food wine. Brunellos to me are always awesome food wines. God, this is a long video, but I did the best I could. I think that was a lot better. I knew a lot more of the wines. I either knew something about the wines, and I probably skipped about 10 that I could have said something about, but don't regret any of it. It wasn't really necessary to. So taste these wines real quick and just put an end to this video here. A little bit, still too cold. I was hoping it was an aged character. I'm not quite getting that. Maybe just starting to develop. It's a really nice wine. Still too cold to really assess and ascertain what I'm getting. I'm not really getting peach though, but it's got a certain creaminess to it. There's nice texture. There's texture to this wine. There's like a lemon oil thing. Confit lemon oil. I don't know why that's going through my head, but that's what I feel like. There's a custardy thing. Maybe like a confit lemon custard with a lemon oil, because there's like a viscosity to this wine. I really like this. It's not, maybe it's acidic. It's not really making my mouth water. This would be a great alternative. Somebody that likes, certainly if you like Viognier, you would love this. This has a little more acidity than Viognier. You get a little bit of acidity now. Viognier is sort of a fuller, oilier wine, but has low acidity. This probably is somewhere between a Viognier and a Chardonnay. Is kind of where I would put this specific wine. And then I'm not sure if that's stylistically correct for Fiano di Avellino. But I really like this wine. I would buy more of this. I think, what did I pay? 16? Something like that? Maybe it was 18. Sub $20. We'll see how it evolves as it warms up. And back to just cap this all off with the Lucian Pinot Noir from Santa Lucia. Oh, interesting. I'm getting a little like, yeah. Yesterday, as this evolved in the decanter, I swear the last few sips I had like just a sliver of a taste of maple syrup. That's a nice Pinot. It grew on me as the night went on yesterday, and I believe with this, the oxygen hitting it, it's gotten nicer. And a lot of that earth that was maybe a little bit off-putting at first kind of blew off. So, way too long a video. And I will do this with the wine enthusiast top best buys. And if I find decanters top 100, I would definitely like to do it for that too. And really more educational and more to remember some of the wines that are in this list. And I'm always curious to see how many of these wines I've explored or I'm sort of aware of just from reading these publications, doing the research I do, listening to wine podcasts, watching wine YouTubers or wine subscriptions like Som TV or whatever it may be. So always curious to see what, how in the know I am with what these wines may or may not be. I skipped like all the Sauv Blancs. I'm not super really into a Sauv Blanc right now. I don't know that I've ever really been huge into Sauv Blanc, but it is what it is. All right, 21 and a half minutes. Let's wrap it up. Have a good night.